Hello, welcome to Little Likac podcast. This is episode 17. My name is Amanda and I'm coming to you today from Derby in the UK. Today is Saturday the 27th of November 2021. The weather is pretty bad. Every British podcaster seems to start with talking about the weather, probably because we get such varied weather in Britain. We had a storm overnight and it's still kind of going on today. We woke up to a bit of snow, sleet. We're going to have high winds for the rest of today. I had planned to go to park run this morning, but nearly all of the local park runs were cancelled. And then I thought, well, shall I still go out for a run anyway? And as I say, I looked out the window and saw the snow coming down. And I mean, I have run in snow, I can run in snow, but if I can choose not to. So tomorrow, it's still supposed to be cold, but it is supposed to be sunny and the wind will have dropped. So I shall go for a run tomorrow. I can't believe I'm already talking about going for a run and running and things like that rather than this. Anyway, so the weather. So the weather is pretty rubbish. It's quite windy out there. It's raining on and off. It's possible you might hear the rain on the roof if it really comes down torrentially while I'm recording. Because as you might know, if you follow me, I tend to record my podcast in the office, the garden office, which is at the bottom of the garden. So today I'm trying out some new lighting, which is why potentially you can see it reflecting in my glasses, which is distracting me. So I don't know how well that's going to work, and if it is a distraction, I will try and see next time how I can do it differently. So well, anyway, it is what it is, as they say, so we'll see. But it definitely does seem to be better. I was testing it out. It definitely seems to be better for showing true colours of yarn and things like that. So I want to stick with using the light, but I might just need to play with how I angle it or where I put it or how I sit to try and stop that from happening. Anyway, we'll see. Is this any better? Let's see. Oh no, it just seems to catch, doesn't it? I need to sink down a bit lower in my seat. That's a bit weird. Right, anyway, so my name is Amanda. I live in Derby with my husband, my two daughters, one daughter is off at university, but she will be coming back home already, can you believe that, in about 10 days time. And then one dog, one chicken and two gerbils. You can find me on Ravelry if you want to at Likac66, and we have a podcast group on there. So yes, you can find me as Likac66, but the group is Little Likac Podcast. You can find me on Etsy as Littlelikacyarn. You can find me on Instagram as Littlelikacyarn. And if you want to email me, feel free to. You can email me at littlelikac@gmail.com. And obviously you can also leave a message on any of the podcasts that I will see as well. I'm just going to I don't normally do life updates first, but I am going to do a quick life update first, because at the end of my last video I told you about my daughter going into hospital and having to have a heart procedure, and that I was a bit nervous about it, a little bit worried, and I did kind of ask people to send best wishes, love, prayers, etc. And thank you so much for the response to that. Obviously lots of people left messages on the podcast, which was really lovely. A few people messaged me separately and privately. And it was really nice to know there were so many of you who understood how I was feeling. She's home, you know, we're both home. I want to say the procedure went fine. It kind of did and it kind of didn't, in the respect that there was nothing went wrong, but equally it didn't go right either. It didn't work. The first part of the procedure was an investigation to see what they needed to do and whether they could do it or not. They did that first part of the procedure, and the second part, well, basically they couldn't do the second part of the procedure. So the issue that she has with her heart, and it's not life-threatening or anything like that, it's just but the issue that she has is still there. They have said they can try the procedure again in a couple of years time, possibly when she's a little bit older. They've changed her medication, so it's just, I guess, disappointing is the word. I mean, the hospital were wonderful. She was on a children's ward because she's still only 16. They counted her as a child, and the care that she had, and that's why I was able to go in with her and stay with her. The care that she had was amazing. The support she had was amazing. And I actually ran London Marathon a couple of years ago, and my sponsorship that I requested was for that hospital and for that or for the children's cardiology unit, and I'm running Manchester Marathon next year, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to either ask for sponsorship for that particular ward or the British Heart Foundation, or I might do a split. Anyway, so yes, that's my life update. So thank you so much for everybody's care, love, best wishes with that. She's back at college. She's back doing all her various activities now. She had to sort of have a week off college. She had to build the exercise back up gradually. But you know, it was all good, and we're all good. And you know, thank you so much. Okay, so any other live stuff I will do at the end of the podcast. But I just wanted to say that first because I really, really appreciate all the love and good wishes people sent, and thank you for all the comments. It's always lovely to have comments. The giveaway winner from last episode contacted me very quickly as well, so that yarn has left the UK and is on its way to America. Where did we say it was going? California? Yeah. Oh, without giving too much away, because I don't know, but the name of the town where this where the winner lives was a really interesting. I actually had to Google it to double check that I was reading it correctly, because I thought, really, that's the name of a place? And yes, it is. But yes, that has gone, and hopefully the winner will be receiving that in the next week or so. So today I have a couple of finished objects to show you. I've made really good progress on one of my whips, and I have cast on a couple of new things, and then I'm going to talk briefly about some of my plans for what's going to be knitted next. So let's start with the finished objects. So the first one I'm going to show you was a half finished object last time. So these are a pair of socks that I have knitted for the Strictly sock along. You'll know last episode I was talking about being socked out, and I'm working through. I've still got a few more pairs of socks that need to be done by the end of the year, but I am working through. So this was one pair that I wanted to get finished, and these were the Strictly sock along, which is being run and hosted by Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. She's got her podcast called Little Drops of Wonderful, and basically you knit on your socks during the season of Strictly Come Dancing. In theory, you knit them while you're watching Strictly or watching anything to do with Strictly, but Ali is British. She loves you to cheat, so I must admit I cheated on these last night, finished them off while I was watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and that was easy to link that to Strictly Come Dancing, and I can't believe how how I didn't go with the obvious one. I was going, oh well, Frankie, one of the celebrities on I'm a Celebrity, has appeared on Strictly Come Dancing a few years ago. She was a contestant. And then I was like, Amanda, Arlene Phillips, one of the contestants on I'm a Celebrity, was a judge on Strictly Come Dancing for probably about the first 10 years. So I was like, well, yeah, okay, so I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. Definitely finishing these socks while watching that definitely is not cheating. So here they are. These are my crazy Christmas striped socks. They are kind of done in, I suppose, like a vanilla pattern in respect that it's all stocking stitch. I did 10 rows, so this was knitted using my own sock set that's dyed by myself. So we've got 50 grams of yellow, 50 grams of red and 20 grams of green. So I did, because I've only got the 20 grams of green, I just did 10 rows for the cuff. Gave me an excuse to only do 10 rows as well, because I can't stand doing ribbing on the cuffs. So 10 rows for the cuff, the heel flap and the toes, and I have just got a little bit left. And then I striped the red and yellow. So this one, you can just about see where I've striped down the inside, and then I did the join down the sole of the foot. This one I kind of forgot about that, so I did the stripe down that side, because obviously I wanted it to make sure that I can wear them with the kind of the jog, if you like, the join on the inside. But actually I'm really quite pleased with that. I don't think it's terribly noticeable. So yes, but I forgot then on this one to do it down it will just be down the side of the foot, which I think will be fine as well. So the colourway is Do It To Your Elf sock set. They're so soft because it's the 85% merino base, and they are going to be great fun. It'll be the 1st of December next week. I'm going to have to try and find some excuse to wear these. I can't imagine I'm going to be wearing them to school, to work, but they'll be worn around the house at any point from 1st of December because they are great fun Christmas socks. So that's my first finished object. Very pleased with those. And my second finished object is also another pair of socks. What a surprise at the moment. If you're new to this podcast, I don't only knit socks. It's just been a bit of a year of socks, and particularly this last month has just been very sock heavy. I will not be knitting so many pairs of socks in 2022. I think I've worked out that it's got to be at least 20 pairs of socks I will have knitted by the end of this year. It will not be the same next year. Anyway, so my second finished object, ta-da! These are the November socks for the Rainbow Sock Chronicles knit-along. And I must remember actually to post these in the Ravelry groups for these two make-alongs as well, so that they're eligible for prizes. So the yarn that I've used for this, did I bring? Oh, I didn't bring the band down. The yarn dye is called Dye Candy, and I think the colourway is called Seek and Destroy. If not, I don't know what the colourway is. And it's a beautiful purple and blue mix. And on my Rainbow Chronicles, it's going to go beautifully between the blue and the purple. So vanilla sock pattern, because I've got so many socks to get through, I'm trying to knit fairly easy patterns at the moment. But 15 rounds of rib, heel, flap and gusset, slip stitch heel, and the usual toe. Cuff down, because 99% of the time I knit cuff down socks. I am actually wearing a pair of toe up socks that I knitted the other year. Might be the only toe up socks I've ever knitted. Anyway, so yes, these are the Rainbow Socks Chronicles November. I really like them. I love this yarn, love the colourway of it. I have got some left over, going to scrappy projects. So yeah, second a finished object. So I'm very, very pleased to have those off the needles. So I have still got 3 pairs of socks to complete before the end of the year. 2 of those pairs of socks are cast on, and they were both new cast ons in the last couple of weeks since I last saw you. So here we go again. So yes, those are my only finished objects. So here we go. Yarn addict, that's me. So this pair of socks is for my daughter's boyfriend. I knitted him a pair of socks last Christmas, and he really, really liked them, and he was hinting that he wanted another pair, but they had to be in blue. I don't know if he requested them in blue or my daughter just requested them in blue, but they had to be in blue. So I'm using it's the same yarn but in 2 different colours, and these are Drops Fabel, and this one is called Long Print, is the sort of style of the yarn. The colour is 917, has got a name, can't remember what the name of it was, In the Deep maybe, something like that. I had expected these to be a little bit more, the splashes of paler blue, I'd kind of expected them to be a little bit more consistent sort of stripes, but they're not. They're quite just random. I mean, but so I was a bit worried that whether the daughter would approve of them for her boyfriend, but yeah, she likes them. She thinks they'll be really nice and that he'll like them. So I've done quite a long leg, because he'll likely to wear these with walking boots. And I did 20 rows of rib. I hope he appreciates that. And it's 72 stitches that I cast on. So 20 rows of rib. Then I can't remember how many inches, 8 inches maybe for the leg. And then I've done slip stitch, heel flap and gusset in that paler blue. I'm not sure if I've got the colour. 917 is the paler blue, but it's drops as well. But this one is called, not drops, it's drops Fabel, but this one is Unicolour rather than long print. So this is coming on really well, because I only cast these on 10 days ago, maybe, not even that. Cast them on actually when we went to the hospital, I think, so just over a week ago. Yeah, maybe nearly 9-10 days. So they're coming on. They need to be done by Christmas, because they will be a Christmas gift for him. So what that gives me, 4 weeks? Yes, 4 weeks. Today is Christmas Day. Okay, so just under 4 weeks then. Don't want to finish them on Christmas Day. So yes, plenty of time to finish those. They might, I mean, I'd like to think that they will both be finished by the time of next time I podcast. I have done a kind of a schedule though. I've got a my diary. I've tried to do a schedule, kind of sort of saying what date I need to have the next socks by, the next sock by, the next sock by, if I'm going to get through all the pairs of socks before the end of the year. So they're a new cast on since I last saw you. I will definitely have one of those socks finished by the next time I see you. Whether they'll both be finished, I'm not sure. And then I have cast on another pair of socks, which is the, and again, I am denied about whether to do these ones, because I was thinking you're putting yourself under more pressure to finish, you know, to get all of these socks knitted. But I really wanted to knit these. It's not a vanilla pattern, it's the pattern that makes me want to knit it, plus the yarn. I bought the yarn at a show a few weeks ago, and I really like the yarn. And so there was part of me thinking, well, yes, I've got other socks I've got to knit because I've got to. This is a pair of socks that I'm knitting because I want to. So I thought if I was going to slack any socks off, it shouldn't be the pair that I really want to knit. So yes, and the only other pair then that isn't cast on that needs to be done by the end of the year is the December Rainbow Socks Chronicles, and they're going to be in a pink. But they won't get cast on until these two pairs are both finished. Because I want to have both of these pairs finished by Christmas. So this pair is the Farmhouse Christmas socks, which is designed by Angela, I think her surname is Magowan, or she's also known as Knitting on the Farm, and she's based in Ireland, Northern Ireland, and this is her first sock design, and it's a lovely pattern. I put a picture of it last time. I'll try and do the same thing and pop a picture, insert a picture of the pattern, because I don't print off patterns usually. Usually they are just downloaded and on my iPad, and I'm filming on my iPad. So I've just got the ribbing, started the ribbing, and this pattern, as hopefully you will have seen by now, has a lovely bit of colour work of Christmas trees. So I have a really gorgeous sparkly Christmas sparkly yarn that I think was from Snuggly Stars. I bought online a long time ago, 20 gram mini, and you can see the stellina in it. So the Christmas trees are going to be from that. Obviously I've got the red and the brown. I'm going to do a brown stripe, a red stripe when I get to the end of the ribbing, and then the colour work. Obviously we'll have the green as the Christmas tree. And then the background is this lovely yarn. Sorry for the really bad caking. I'll explain that in a minute. So this yarn and the red and the brown actually are all from Ducky Darlings. And the colourway is Autumn Berries. But this one, she dyed it on, again, a stellina base. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. And so the stellina added to the colours didn't make me think of autumn. It made me think of Christmas. So that's the main base. I've actually got it in two, but I was caking this up last night, because I wanted to knit these as well as part of Natty, Natalie from Natty, another podcast. She is doing Sockmas, a 3-week sock along, which I thought, which started yesterday, so I thought that's perfect timing. If I can get this pair knitted in 3 weeks, then that's going to be a week before Christmas, and I can be wearing my lovely Christmas tree socks before Christmas. So she was doing a cast on party on YouTube, like just a live YouTube video last night, and it was at 5 o'clock British time, and I thought, oh yeah, I can do that, I can get home. And actually, instead of casting on though, I'll just wind the yarn, because I haven't finished winding all the yarn. And I don't know why, it's just sometimes it works out like this, doesn't it? But for some reason this ball of yarn, or the skein of yarn, would not play ball, and it was getting tangled. And then I was trying to untangle it on the Swift, and then it got tangled on the winder and got caught up in the mechanism under the winder, and I couldn't, so I had to cut it to get it undone. And then, yes, normally, how long does it take to wind a skein of yarn? 10 minutes? It took me nearly an hour, because it just kept tangling, and I don't know whether when I undid the skein and put it on the Swift, whether, you know how sometimes it just seems to work fine and no problem, and other times it just keeps getting caught up, and it was just one of those days. So it is a bit of a mess really. I probably should rewind them, but yeah, life's too short for that. So yes, it's just one of those things. So yeah, so that's the Ducky Darlings Autumn Berries colourway. It's just lovely. So that's going to be for the Sockmas knit along. My little stitch marker, so cute, little Christmas tree stitch marker. So yeah, that's really super cute, and I will be working on that over the next 3 weeks. So that's got to be finished in 3 weeks. George's socks are going to be finished in about 3.5 weeks. So those will be the next 2 things that I will be working on constantly, and I would imagine next time I see you in 2 weeks, well, if I haven't got at least one of both of them completed, one of each pair completed, then I am definitely going to have fallen behind. So yes, those are my 2 new cast-ons. And then the other main whip that I have been working on, or the only other whip that I have been working on, is my sheep jumper, which I'm just loving. And I do hope as well that if I stick to schedule with my socks, and I can't believe I've had to schedule the sock knitting, and at the moment I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, but if I can keep up to my sock knitting schedule, I might also be able to get this finished as well in the next 2 weeks. Tell you what, a day like today, this jumper would be really useful, because it's bitterly cold out there. I sound like my mother. You ever hear yourself say things or do things, and you think, I have turned into my mother or my parent. Anyway, so you have seen this before if you are a regular viewer. This is my Time Wool Tell sweater. So look, I know every time I hold it up I kind of go, look at this, because you know sometimes a project, you just love it, and this one, so lovely. So yes, I finished the sleeve. So last time I saw you, had I picked up the stitches for the sleeve? I think so. I just started the sleeve, and I was debating whether, because at the bottom of the body I put it, I think last time I saw you I hadn't quite finished the rib. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, I had put in extra flowers at the bottom of the sweater, and I was saying if I had enough, if I could work out the numbers, I was going to put in sleeve flowers at the end of the sleeve. Yes, I did. So first sleeve is done. I knitted the sleeves on magic loop, which is not, do you know what, I say that it's not something I like doing, but actually I really enjoyed the magic loop on this. I was worried about it laddering, but it hasn't at all. And then I was worried about doing the colour work on the magic loop, but I managed to get that done as well. So really pleased with this sleeve. And having said that, I have actually ordered and bought a long enough needle to actually maybe have a go at a pair of socks and magic loop. I've never done socks and magic loop because I always say that I don't like magic loop, because I had a few bad experiences of magic loop and things laddering really badly when I tried making some hats. But looking back, I think I was just using too short a cable. And not really understanding about having that twist on the cable, not really understanding how magic loop worked. So I have ordered a pair of 2.25mm, because that's what I normally knit my socks on, 2.25mm needles to have a go at Magic Loop again on a pair of socks, just plain vanilla, and it'll probably be the December Rainbow Sock Chronicles that I use them for. So we'll see, because I say I'm not a Magic Loop person, but now having this, it was when I was knitting this sleeve on Magic Loop that I was saying, why do I always say that, because this was easy. So yeah, so I'm going to give a pair of socks a go on Magic Loop as well. So yeah, so anyway, that sleeve, it knitted up or knitted down quite quickly. You have the decreases, and I think, you know, sometimes when you've got things like the decreases, you're like, oh, I'll just knit to the next decrease row, I'll just knit to the next decrease row, and it moves it along quicker. And I've put in the flowers at the end of the sleeve, behind the cuff, which I think looks really nice. So yes, nearly finished this. I just have the other sleeve to go, and I think I will get that done in the next 2 weeks. So I really hope that the next time I podcast, I'm actually sitting wearing this sweater. How lovely is that going to be? So I am knitting that in, the cream is Plymouth Encore worsted weight Aran, worsted weight yarn, but it is knitting to an Aran gauge because the pattern calls for Aran, and this is seems to knit up to me as Aran. Purchased this yarn in Florida at a wool shop called The Black Sheep. I don't know if it still exists in Florida. I can remember when we went to Florida, I had found that shop online before we went, and I'd said to my husband, if we get a chance, could we go to a yarn shop please in America? So I bought that in America, and then the purple is a King Cole Merino blend Aran. So they're both commercial yarns. This one is the purple is 100% wool but not 100% merino, and the Plymouth is 75% acrylic, 25% wool. So it's really thick. And actually, to be fair, if this was 100% wool Aran weight, I think that would be too warm for the Midlands kind of winters, really, to get good wear out of it. So I think the fact that it's more acrylic but with some wool content means it will be nice and warm, but won't be too warm, and hopefully I will get quite a bit of wear out of it. So love that pattern. She's just really, if you have a look at the designer, Anna Filippi, something like that, but as always I will link all the names and everything. If you have a look at her, I don't know if she sells her patterns anywhere other than Ravelry, but certainly on Ravelry she has lots of patterns all on pretty much the same pattern or the same design, but just with different yokes. So I think there's a bunny one, an elephant one, not sure what else, but yeah, she has lots of different designs of the yoke, of different animals and things. So if you like the idea, then do have a look at her Ravelry shop. As I say, I don't know if she sells her patterns anywhere else, don't know where else you could buy them. So if you don't use Ravelry, I'm sorry, I don't know where else you can get them from. So yeah, those are all the whips and finished objects and the main things that I'm working on at the moment. I've also got a little confession. I haven't bought anything new, which is unusual in the last couple of weeks. I haven't bought anything new, but I have started opening my little scrappy advent calendar made from swaps of leftover skeins with other people. And the reason why I've already started opening mine is because I've ended up with over 30 items in my advent. So I debated, should I wait till the 1st of December and then keep opening them till the end of December and go to New Year's Eve, which would work, or should I open them early and still finish on Christmas Day? And I must admit, there was part of me that really wanted to start opening them. So I put it on my story on Instagram, and I also asked people to comment on the Instagram. And it was really interesting because in the comments, more people said wait till the 1st of December, but on the story, more people voted to start now. And when I added them together, it did work out. It was quite fairly close actually, but when I added the numbers together, it worked out start now. And to be honest, I knew then as well, because when I saw people commenting on just on my post saying wait till the 1st of December, I was really disappointed that people were saying that. I realised that I was actually looking for other people to say, yeah, go on, open it. So I thought, well, that's obviously what I really want to do, because I'm really disappointed that people are telling me to wait. So clearly I don't want to wait. So I'd already decided I was probably going to open it anyway. And then when I saw that the story, yay, everybody was kind of like, go on, go for it now. So thank you. You've given me permission. Anyway, so the packages that I've opened so far, I'm popping in this bag. Now the bag itself, and I hadn't even realised that this was here until I went to put everything in one box, and so one of the ladies, and I think this might have been from Joy, so I do hope I've got the right person, because I did swaps with quite a few people over the year, so I'm hoping I've got the right person that this came from. But the way it had been parcelled, all the little packages of yarn were on top, so it was only when I took them out of the box to put them into a bigger box that I found this at the bottom of the box, and it wasn't wrapped, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's this beautiful bag, and isn't it gorgeous? Look at the lining. So I think this is from Joy, because I think this was from the first one that arrived in around October time. I might have to look back on my emails to see who I replied to first to thank them. So I had Joy, Karen and Siobhan that I swapped with. So I'm pretty sure this is from Joy. It's just beautiful. So thank you so much. Thank you. So what have I had so far? This was the first one that I opened. Isn't that gorgeous colour? Absolutely lovely. That'll definitely go into, oh, it's got a tiny bit of stellina in it as well. So that will go into one of the blankets that I've got planned for next year. So I've got this one, blues and greens again. Okay, and then this one I opened today. This will definitely go into a blanket that I've already got started, which is a pastel blanket that I'm doing. So that will definitely go in the pastel one. And then these two will probably go, I'm thinking of doing the Battenberg crochet blanket, where you do these little crochet squares, and I think these will potentially go into that. The only thing I need to think about is whether those blanket squares will still work with like stripes or multicolours. If not, I need a third, because I've got a lot of scraps of multicolours and things, so I might need to have another think. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at the Battenberg. That's one of the things that I really want to do next year. I've got quite a lot of blanket ideas next year, so that is a great start. I just love all three of those. I love this bag, it's so pretty, so thank you for that. And then, so yes, I was just talking about the Battenberg blanket is one of my plans for next year. I am thinking about, once I've got all these socks finished, hurrah. And obviously as well, if you've been following me, you know that I've been putting together a blanket this year as well. That needs finishing off too. I've got 2 more squares to do on that, and that will be, the squares will come from the pink for the December Sock Chronicles and that Ducky Darlings yarn that I showed you. And then the other thing that I mentioned last time, and I don't know if if the yarn had actually arrived or not, I talked about a tartan wrap that I wanted to do, and that I still really want to do. So I haven't changed my mind in the last 2 weeks, so you know, that makes a change for me. Here it is, this beautiful tartan wrap. And I said that I had ordered some yarn and tracked down some of the pink yarn, and I went to get the purple yarn out of my stash before I recorded this today actually, and I can see where it is, because I've got, in the garage I've got big plastic tubs with a lot of my yarn in to keep it safe in the garage, and I could see where this purple yarn was, but there was about 4 boxes stacked on top of that, and a few other things stacked in front, because we've had to put a lot of things in the garage recently while we've been redecorating bedrooms and things, and I just thought, oh, I can't face trying to get to that right now. I know where it is, but the pink, I don't know if the pink had arrived last time I saw you. So the pink is here. So this is the Debbie Bliss Luxury Donegal Tweed, Aran Tweed. And then the charcoal has also arrived now as well. So I will be using this pink and charcoal, but I will be putting in the purple, and the purple, to be fair, is quite similar to this purple. So I'm going to be doing that tartan wrap, and that's also on my list to do, to cast on in January, or as soon as all the December projects are finished. If I finish, if I finish all my December projects on the 29th of December, then it's cast on party. So this will be cast on in the near future. And then I have also decided as well, I've decided to make this into a make-along. I really want to do the Love Note sweater jumper, and I've got the yarn for that. I showed that yarn a little while ago. I bought it at the yarn show I went to a few weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. So I am going to do the Love Note sweater, and again that's going to get cast on at the beginning of January. But I've decided I'm going to make that a make-along. So if you are interested or been considering the Love Note sweater by Tin Can Knits, and want an excuse to cast it on, or just need a bit of encouragement, then let's do it together. So that will be starting as a make-along, or a knit-along, because it's knit only, because it's just that one pattern. That will be starting from the 1st of January. So if you've been considering it, maybe you've already got the yarn, or maybe you've got the pattern or been looking at the pattern and it's been sitting in your queue or your favourites for a while, then get yourself ready if you want to join in with it, and we'll do it as a make-along, and we'll have some prizes, and we'll put open a thread on the Ravelry group for anybody who wants to comment on and join in and support each other with that. So that will be the Love Note make-along starting on the 1st of January. And heck, if nobody else is knitting it, I'll just be knitting it by myself. But yes, so if you're interested in that, if you've not seen the pattern, I will pop a picture of it on here on this video as well. And then but it's very, very popular pattern. I'm assuming that Tin Can Knits has a website as well, so you don't have to buy the pattern through Ravelry if you don't use Ravelry. Yeah, she must have, or they must have their own website as well. So Tin Can Knits, Love Note, that is definitely, and I am going to save that to the 1st of January. That's going to be my New Year, 1st of January cast on. But it's possible that other things will get cast on before that, if I get all the December stuff finished. Okay, then I think I'm nearly done really. Not much to tell you about the shop, because life has been very, very busy. I've not really got anything dyed in the last few weeks. I wanted to do some more Christmas stuff, and I wanted to do another Shakespeare play before the end of the year, and that hasn't happened because been very busy at work, been busy with my daughter, and I've had to prioritise other things. People who've been ordering anything from me, not a problem. I have still got yarns in the shop, I've still got stitch markers in the shop, so there's no issues with me just running the business as it is and sending out things I've got in stock. That's not a problem at all. It's just I haven't got the time or had the time to dye anything new. Also, I've had a few issues with my suppliers anyway. They've had issues with their suppliers, so I have got some undyed yarn to dye, but again I haven't got all of the bases in that I wanted and things. So I'm hoping though the Christmas holiday, we're not planning on going to many places and visiting, so I'm really hoping I will get some new yarns dyed in the Christmas holidays. Maybe I'll have a weekend that I do some before then. I don't know. But I'm not going to stress about it. Excuse me. It is a business, but it is just a small second business to my main work. And I would rather do the dyeing when I've got time to do it properly and take care with it than trying to rush it and things. So yes, there's nothing really new to talk about the shop. But running, I mentioned running a bit at the beginning, and I said that I really needed to try and motivate myself to run more. And after I podcast the other week, I did go out and run, and I've been to park run the last couple of weekends and really enjoyed doing those again. excuse me, and as I say, I should have gone to park run today, and in fact I need to do a 5-mile run this weekend, and if you don't know park run at all, that's 3 miles. So my plan had been, excuse me, my plan had been to run a mile, do park run, run a mile to make up the 5 miles. But as I say, the weather this morning was so bad that most of the park runs in the local area had been cancelled. So I will have to take myself out to do a 5-mile run tomorrow. The weather does look much better for tomorrow. The only issue is that I'm going out this evening. I'm going out to celebrate a friend's birthday, and there are 4 of us going out, and there will definitely be some wine involved. So that's the only thing that excuse me. So that's the only thing that might put the 5-mile run tomorrow at jeopardy. But the weather looks okay all day, so I'm not going to say to myself, well, I'm going to go out first thing in the morning. I'd like to go out still while it's daylight, so I can do a nice run somewhere, maybe through near the park or woods and things like that, which obviously I wouldn't be able to do when it's dark. So the plan is to go for a run tomorrow afternoon. I've also got a lot of marking to do at the moment as well. We are right in the midst of excuse me, we're right in the midst of mock exam time for a lot of my students and assessment time, so I've got a lot of marking to do. That's been another reason as well why I haven't been able to get so much dyeing done the last few weeks. But yes, daughter, eldest one, comes back from university in about 10 days. She's been having a fantastic time. Some parts of her course have finished already, and the rest of her lectures finish next week, which I can't believe. So she and her friends, there's 10 of them living in the Hall's residence she's in, there's 10 of them in there together. They had a Christmas dinner this week because some of her house have almost finished their lectures and will be starting to go home themselves. So they did a Christmas dinner, and she sent me some pictures of them all having, they cooked it themselves. They did chicken rather than turkey. I think a few of them are vegetarian anyway. So yeah, so she's loving life, and it's just really lovely to see the idea of them having that Christmas dinner together. And you know, her house, they've got some international students, they're doing a whole mixture of courses in her house, and they've got on together so well. And in fact, 5 of them have already decided to house share together next year, and I just think that's lovely. I'm just so pleased for her. Because yes, the academic stuff is, of course, that's important at university, that's what you're paying for, but the social side, and you know, seeing her so happy and enjoying her new friends, and the fact that, you know, when they go into halls of residence, they could end up sharing a house with anybody, and the fact that they all seem to get on so well, and a lot of them seem to have very similar ideas and values and things as her, it's just been brilliant, really lovely to see. But yeah, so she'll come home in just over a week. I don't know if I'm ready for her to come home. We've been desperately trying to sort out the rooms for her and everything. Yeah, lots of things. I mean, because my kids are older, we're not going to have the, you know, the same kind of, we don't have the same build up to Christmas, which is good in some ways though, because I don't think I can cope with trying to fit in all the nativity plays, Christmas carol concerts, and all of those things that we used to do when they were at primary school. But it will be nice to try and do a few things, because obviously last year nothing was going on. Trying to think, I don't think we're planning on a Christmas show or anything at the moment. I think this year as well, people are leaving things to the last minute before they book things, because, you know, don't want to get on a downer, but the latest news on COVID is another new variant, and we all are a bit worried about what that could mean. I don't want to get too political, but I am very, very pleased that the government have acted quickly this time, and well, relatively quickly, and said about quarantining people coming from those flights and stopping some of those flights. And personally, I think that's the right thing to do. You know, we, not just the UK, if these new variants happen, we have to try and stop the spread of those new variants across the world again. We just do, else the whole world, it's not just about the UK, the whole world goes back to square one. And nobody wants that. I am double vaccinated. I am in the age group now where they have said we will get a booster. I am under 50. So originally I wasn't eligible for a booster, but what, a week or so ago they said that over 40s are also eligible, so I'm waiting. I don't know if I need to actually do anything. I'll give it another week or two, and if I don't hear anything in the next week or two, I will call the vaccine helpline or whatever and see if I can get booked in for that booster jab. Yeah, so well, I don't think there's anything else to tell you about, really. I hope everybody else is well. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. If you have and you don't already subscribe, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed. We are, you know, the 400 mark was reached a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really pleased to see it stayed at that, because I know sometimes when you do a giveaway, it's weird. You get a few extra followers, but the moment you announce the winner, you also then lose a few followers, which I think is a bit of a shame if you've only followed just because of the giveaway, but there you go. So yes, yeah, I'm rambling now because I think that is everything. Yeah, but you know when you're kind of like, I'm looking around, I've gone through everything, I feel like I've forgotten something. Probably going to switch it off and then go, oh, I meant to tell you all about such and such, but I don't know what. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for any comments that you have left previously. Please feel free to comment again on anything that you want to. It's always nice to hear from people, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, take care.